Hello, hello, everybody. Oh, let's see if I'm on here. There we go. Let's see if I'm on. Hello. Let me know if the sound is okay. Hello and welcome. Let me make sure I'm good to go here. Hope you guys are doing well. Let me know in the comment section if you can hear me. That'd be awesome. Okay, let's see. Make sure we got everything up. Hello, hello, loud and clear. Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate it. Welcome to the Friday weekly live here on the Victoria Marie YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be working in my Hot Springs travel album. I'm going to walk you through what I've done so far, which strangely enough is not a whole lot since I last worked in this album during the live. So hello to everyone. Hello. Thank you for joining me today. So glad you are here. Can you hear me perfectly? Awesome. Thank you so much. We're going to hang out for just a minute or so. Let everyone pop on. Hey, Carmen. Sorry that scared you to death. I've done that many times. Hello from a very cold Fargo. Hello, Andy. How are you? We've got Heather and Ada and Sarah. And I'm waiting for the comments to pop up so I can see who is this. Hello, Angie. Hello, Sheena. Hello, Dina, baby, 33. So glad that you guys are joining me today. I'm really excited to do today's live because I haven't touched this travel album since last year, maybe? I think? Not sure. Anyway, I'm really excited to really get this album finished up. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that today. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. We're just going to hang out for just a second. Let some more folks pop on. By the way, if you are new to the Victoria Marie YouTube community, welcome. I am so glad to have you. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do. That way you'll be notified. Make sure you click the little bell icon so you'll be notified every time we go live or when new content's posted. You guys have a process video coming up tomorrow and then another one on Wednesday. I'm trying to get to back to a regular posting schedule so you can see some more crafty goodness. Hello, everyone who's just popped on. Mary, Tiffany, Kathy, Angie, Fran. Oh, Snappy. Hello, girl. Paige, Heather Whedon. Hello. Janet and Kelly and Rhonda. Hello, everybody. I'm so glad that you guys are here. Fran from Australia. Hello, Fran from Australia. I'm so glad that you're joining me today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it may be where you're at. There are some people who are still at work. Have the emergency spreadsheet ready to pop up on your screen if your boss comes by. Unless, of course, you are the boss, then you don't have to worry about that, right? Hey, Connie, what's going on from Texas? Right back at you, babe. From Texas. Hey, Patricia from Sacramento. Yes, thank you, Heather. I'm so glad that you guys remind me to say that. Make sure, as you are watching this live, if you love what you see, make sure you click the thumbs up button. That lets YouTube know that you're enjoying the content here, which is very helpful to this channel. Antonella, hello from Germany. I was born in Germany. I think I may have told you that before. Hey, Mary from San Antonio. Heather is working as well. Hey, Lisa, I'm so glad you're here. We're going to have fun today. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I think we've got 2 o'clock straight up and down. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, see, I'm told to be quiet because people are at work. We're not going to tell our bosses that we're on YouTube, right? I'm my own boss, so she gave me permission to be here today. Have the emergency spreadsheets up. Have the emergency TSP report up, just in case you need to pop up something and be like, yes, I've been busy today. And you're typing away. Hey, Dee Dee, what's going on? Okay, so today I am working on my Hot Springs mini album. We went to Hot Springs, Arkansas for a quick vacation last summer. We were trying to figure out if we were going to go somewhere in the midst of COVID. And so we figured that if we went and did an outside type of vacation, then we would be okay. And in fact, We were okay. We ended up staying at the Holiday Inn, one of the Holiday Inn locations in town, and we saw all of the sights pretty much that there is to see in Hot Springs, Arkansas. If you're not familiar with Hot Springs, Arkansas, it was actually the neutral ground for mobsters back in the day. And so they would go and enjoy the hot springs water at the bathhouses. So bathhouses are super, super popular in the area, and some are still in operation today. We got to take in a lot of the beautiful mountains and scenery. Arkansas has gorgeous mountains, lots of outdoor activities. We did some hiking. We went to the Garvan Woodland Gardens, which is kind of like a botanical garden, sort of. Very nice. It is in conjunction with, I think, the University of Arkansas. So that was fun. I would say that particular area is not a foodie destination, but we did go to some pockets of foodie interest when we were there. So with any vacation, I love to scrapbook it. And over the past few years, I've been really interested in doing mini albums for vacations versus full out 12 by 12 albums. Not too long ago, I was introduced to this album. It is a Citrus Twist Life Crafted album. And every time I show this album, I like to give the measurements. And so I'll do that here in just a second. Hello, everyone who's just joined us. Yes, Fulda, you were right, Antonella. I was born in Fulda, Germany. You're absolutely right. Hey, Claire, what's going on? There's another person sneaking in from work. Y'all, there's a lot of y'all at work right now. Claire, yes, the hills are absolutely beautiful. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Alrighty, so let me tell you a little bit about this Life Crafted album. They come in a variety of colors, and I do have a lot of colors, but I love this particular format because it is like a traveler's notebook, but it's a binded album system. And I've shared this before on the channel. And so I went ahead and pulled up the info in terms of measurements. If you want to check this out, it is by Citrus Twist. And according to their website, they said the overall dimensions are 6.5 by 9.25, and the spine is about 1.25 inches wide. And of course, it has the binding mechanism here. You get 6 of these rings, 3 at the top, 3 at the bottom. It comes with 15 pocket page protectors that fit 30 back-to-back traveler's notebook size pages. So you're looking at a 4.25 by 8.5 size pages. And then you can fit loose pages in the album up to 5.5 by 8.5. No, I'm sorry, 5 by 8.5. And then they offer additional page protectors. So I read that right off the website. So this is a great option if you want to do a traveler's notebook, but you don't want to do just like the paper insert and then have to buy something to contain it in if you want to. I am partial to binding systems, whether it's 12 by 12, 8.5 by 11. And so I'm so glad that there is an option like this on the market because I love doing the traveler's notebook style, but I just found that my traveler's notebook albums were getting so bulky that either the stapled binding or even sometimes the hand sewn binding would start breaking the pages apart. So at least with this, there's page protectors and there's a binding mechanism. So with that being said, my plan is to do a lot of my travel albums in this style and other albums as well. So let me walk you through what I already have. Hello to those who've just joined us. Hello, hello. Alrighty, so here is the opening page, and what I did was I took a little envelope, added some washi tape to it, and stuck this to the front. This will serve as just a catch-all for ephemera, memorabilia, that type of thing. Any little odds and ends that I want to keep from this trip will go here, and then I have others that are kind of peppered into the album. Here is the title page. Now, by the way, if you want to go back to see the construction, the materials that I'm using, and how I put this together, in previous live streams, I show this. So just go back to the Victoria Marie playlist, or you can search the channel for the previous live so you can see all the product and me setting the album up and all of that, if you haven't seen that before. All right, so I just did something really fun. I went through, prepped the album, kind of like a December Daily style. I cut all of the papers that I needed for the appropriate sizes. Some of the embellishing I did beforehand, which has made it very, very easy for me to put this album together when I actually think to work on it. So I'm not perfect. So here's the cover page. I'm using products out of my stash. I did not buy anything new for this project, and I have a ton of travel things that I've purchased here and there because, you know, I love to travel, but we haven't been able to do so much lately. Did Hot Springs 2020, got a little bit of Citrus Twist, or maybe this is not, is this Citrus Twist font? I think it might be. Yeah, it's Citrus Twist font. I got some LE Studio font in here, some chipboard pieces from a little Mamby chips, if you remember those that you can buy at like Michael's. This little chipboard piece, some wood veneer stuff that I've had in my stash for quite some time. I'm trying to see if I can reduce that glare a little bit. And then some other little chipboard pieces. So I always like to start out with some sort of title page. Let me pull this out to Page Protector. It's hard to have filming lights on and show you stuff. So here is the cover page. And what I did was I took a paper pad and I deconstructed the paper pad, which I show you in one of the earlier videos, and cut them up in various sizes. I just love this paper, and we did go on a road trip, so it did work out well that we had all these different road signs on here. And then I also have some other little embellishments too that came out of various different collections and stuff like that. Again, all stuff from my stash. So I don't have any links to particular products or anything because a lot of this stuff is out of my stash. So I'm just going to slip this right back in the Page Protector. I love this size. I absolutely love it. Particularly, this is great if you go on like little small, little quick trips. You can do something like this. All right, so the other side of it, some of these I'll take out the Page Protectors, others I won't. I have a spot here for photo or journaling, and then I did this cute little cluster with a little map, the car, and then this arrow that's pointing towards Arkansas. So I have these little dots here to indicate that that is where we went for that particular vacation. So that's fun to do. I love adding in those little tiny bits and elements. This little travel moment was from some kind of collection that I had that had little envelopes and such. I just stuck a photo of us in there, made a little tab, added a little bit of a chipboard piece, and that was us on our way to Arkansas from Texas, which is not very far. It's only like 5 hours. All right, and then I like to put, whenever we do a driving trip, if we're on the road, then I like to document how many miles that we drove. So many of the Texas miles, so the miles from Texas to Arkansas. So we drove 790 miles for that trip. And then, if I can, we try to take a picture of the state sign as we are entering the state. And so I did that with this spread here. I'm going to try to hold this as best as I can to kind of eliminate the glare. Then I have a tiny little car there as well. And I have the number 3 to represent that there's 3 of us in my little tiny family. Then I have this divided page here. This is 2 by 2. And what I usually like to do with these is sometimes I'll print photos, which you'll actually see me do that today, and put them in here. And you can resize photos to whatever size you want to. I use a pick frame app, or the pick frame app you can get on your iPhone or Android, and it's an app that you can use to create photo collages. And one of the photo collages, you can actually pop in about 6 photos in the collage, and they measure about 2 by 2 roughly. The measurements aren't perfect, but it works for what I need to use it for. So I am then able to save that collage to my phone and then print out the photo. It saves to your camera roll. So the name of that app, because I get asked this all the time, is called Pick Frame. P-I-C-F-R-A-M-E. Pick Frame. So if you Google it, you'll see you can get it through the Apple Store or the App Store or whatever app for Apple, and you can get it on Google Play for Android. Okay, so I have these 2 by 2 boxes, and all I did was I just added some little elements there just for a little decorative touch. And then I do have spots where I need to go through and add journaling. In fact, that's one of the creative tasks that I'm doing this weekend, is to add in my journaling for this as I go along. Have a little picture of my girlie sitting in the back with her Starbucks as we were headed on the road. And then a picture of my boo, and then me as I'm trying to take both, not only a picture of myself, but also Corinne, who's peeking through by my seatbelt. The first destination we got to in Hot Springs is the Hot Springs Mountain Tower. So if you've never been to Arkansas and you go and take a quick trip, go and see the Hot Springs Mountain Tower. It was built many years ago, but it gives you a 360 aerial view of hot springs, and it's beautiful. So that is our first stop. Now, in the last video I think I did of this album, I created a very simple interactive photo element. And so what I did was I took some 6x6 4x6 photos, as well as some 4x6 pocket cards that I created with the pattern paper that I used for this project. And I just created a small little accordion style type of little mini album within a mini album. So a place where I can house photos. The limitation to a small album like this is that there are only so many photos that you can fit in the album if you're just using the page protectors. But you can add in stuff like this to any size mini album that you work on clearly. It adds an interactive element and it allows you to get more photos in. So all I did was I took a piece of white cardstock, and I think let me measure this out. This was probably, was this 12 by 12? Yeah, I think this was 12 inches by 6. So just half a piece of a 12-inch piece of white cardstock. And I folded it in thirds, okay? And then adhered my photos on here. So this is the sign of us entering into the Hot Springs Mountain Tower area. And then this little embellishment here with a little glassine bag that I've had in my stash for like ever. Here's a photo of the actual mountain tower, which is really cool. And to this, to have this slip in here, Citrus Twist offers these little insert, what are they called? I always forget the name of these things, but you can add it on to like your embellishments or memorabilia so that you can actually stick it in the album. I forget what these are called. I'll have to get that name for you in just a few. I did just a little bit of embellishing there. And then on the back, I have photos of us actually there on the tower or in the tower. And then another place for embellishing. And then I can add some journaling there. And when I travel, I like to pick up things like postcards, and I like to save receipts, stickers, anything that we get in our trips. So I did purchase some postcards, and I just put it on one of these little insert sticker thingies, and I forget what they're called right now. Anyway, I just slapped a postcard there, and then that way I can slip it into my album. I think I could also put this in like a 4x6, like one of these 4x6 little pocket things too. But I liked that sort of the interactive element of it. And then you can also, if you don't plan on sending postcards, because I don't do that anymore, I don't send postcards to people when I'm out traveling anymore, but you can write your journaling on the back of the postcard, right? And if for whatever reason you can't get a good picture of the site or whatever it is that you're touring, if they have postcards, just buy postcards, because those photos are typically done by professional photographers. So you'll get fantastic photos to put in your projects either way. And I've done that a few times on trips that I've been to when I either forgot to take a photo or my photos didn't come out just as well. That same day, on our arrival day, we went to Steinerhaus Keller, which is a German food restaurant. And I mentioned, I think I put this together on camera, but it was okay. It wasn't that great of German food. It wasn't the best German food I've had, but it was okay. But we stopped and we ate dinner, did a little bit of embellishing there, added the title. And then I have spaces for journaling. These cards are by Ellie's Studio, and it says, "Let's eat." And I love it because then I can rate our food experiences, which is great. I love scrapbooking food. Let me know in the comment section if you are a foodie and you like scrapbooking food, because I do. I know some people find that silly, but I love scrapbooking food. It's like food, having food is an experience all in of itself, in my opinion. One of the things we did enjoy was a big, giganto pretzel that was like the size of my head. Some pretty good beer cheese that went with that. It wasn't the best, but it was decent. And then we had, I had schnitzel, and Brie had lamb. It was all right. I'd say on a scale of 1 to 5, I'd give it about Brie would give her dish about 2.5. I'd give mine about a 3. It was okay. And it was Corinne's first time having German food, so we need to do that experience again so she can have better German food. So anyway, picture of Corinne eating the pretzel. That was the thing that we enjoyed the most. Picture of the food. It was pretty dark in the restaurant, so I couldn't get a clear picture. And then spots to journal. And then some more pictures from the restaurant, and another spot to journal to talk about the food that we ate in our experience. So today what I'm going to be working on is just a quick little setup that talks about our hotel room. We stayed at Holiday Inn Express, nothing fancy. I think the next time that we go, we might do something like an Airbnb by the water, like by the lake. And we tried to book something, but a lot of the spaces were filled. But I would love to be able to stay by the water next time if we do head into hot springs. But in any event, we stayed at the hotel because that's what was available. And I think a lot of people were doing a lot of outdoor vacationing last year since people were trying to avoid a lot of indoor stuff. I like to take my hotel keys. Usually you can. You know, they're not going to charge you for them or anything. But I like to collect hotel keys for the places that I stay. So that's going to be a part of the memorabilia that I keep. I'm going to slip that in the pocket and do something with that. Then I printed my photos 3x4. I also have a journaling pocket card, which I'll journal on. I'll journal later. I'm not going to journal now during the live. I already pre-made a little card here that says to travel is to live, which I definitely agree with that. And then I also have this little car here. I have tons of these little car wood veneers that I need to use. This was pre-made, so I don't have to worry about doing anything there. And then all the details. Our stay was pretty good. The food there at that particular Holiday Inn was really, really bad. They were doing a food service where the hotel staff would serve you the food versus you doing your kind of grab and go situation, which is typical for Holiday Inn. And it just was not that great. So, but otherwise, the room was decent. I also have this insert here. This is another one of these little envelopes, and I don't remember where I got these from, but I've had them in my stash for a while. I added some washi tape and then a little flag, and this is where I'm keeping like receipts and tickets, and that, of course, that's what it says on here, receipts and tickets. So I have my receipt from the restaurant that we ate out that night as well as the hotel. And to keep it all together, since I'm not going to seal this up clearly, I just have a paper clip, just a regular standard office paper clip that I would use, just to hold that in place, and then I'll just slip that right in there using one of those citrus twist little insert deal bobs. And then also the following day, our actual full day, we started at Collective Coffee. So I'm going to do that spread today, and then of course I have the coffee sleeve from our cup that I saved from the trip. I love doing this. I saved my Starbucks ones during the holiday season to put in my December daily, and I like to save them if we go to fun coffee shops in our travels to put them in our travel albums as well. So I'm going to figure out how I want to adhere that in there some way. So first page is going to be pretty quick to put together, but before I do that, let me go to the comments real quick. Let's see. Bring on the food pages. Yes, I agree. The LA Studio Let's Eat card is so fun. I love those cards. They're great. Love to scrapbook food. A lot of you like to scrapbook food. Have never scrapped food, but this is giving me ideas. Oh, Barb, you absolutely should. I scrapbook food experiences that are new and unique or places that I absolutely love. But to me, eating food or trying new places is an experience in and of itself, so I absolutely love it. Now I'm curious if they offer now I'm curious what they offer as traditional German food. Antonella, I would say it's probably an Americanized version. It's from when I researched the restaurant, apparently the family is German, according to what I understand of the restaurant. But it didn't taste like any German food that I've had before. It wasn't prepared as well as other German food that I've had. So I don't know. Melissa says she's going to Hot Springs this summer. Ooh, you're going to have a lot of fun. It's a very interesting little place for sure. Victoria, do you have a link to those page binder thingies? They are, I don't have a specific link, but I'm trying to remember what they're called so I can lead you to them. Let me see if I can look it up real quick. Albums. It is under, if you go to Citrus Twist, they are called adhesive page strips. Why I forget that, I don't know. If you go to Citrus Twist and you click on albums and notebooks and scroll to the bottom of the page on page 1, it's called Citrus Twist Kits Life Crafted Adhesive Page Strips. That's what these are called. Adhesive page strips. I don't know why I forget what those are called. I guess I want to call them something more fancier than what they are. And they're not very expensive. I think they're only like $6.55, and you get several of them in a pack. You get 10 of them in a pack. So I like to keep a lot on hand for sure. And I'm not an affiliate with Citrus Twist. I'm just a customer. Lisa says, I think I've been to that restaurant. Does the outdoor seat, is it outdoor seating by rocks? I don't remember. I remember the outdoor seating was like a bar situation, but I don't remember any rocks. It was pretty small. It was like a, what do you call it? A courtyard type situation. Do you narrow down the amount of photos you put in these small albums? Most of my vacation albums end up being 2 12 by 12s. I do, and for that exact reason. By the time I'm done with one album, I'm like done. I don't take as many photos anymore on vacations because I get photo overwhelm and creative paralysis. And I only scrap the photos that specifically represent the story that I want to tell for the project. And then any other photos that I want to keep, like bulk photos, I will put them in a photo album or I'll put them in a photo safe box. But I do not attempt to scrapbook a ton of photos from vacation. Another thing that I do, because a lot of my vacation albums are pocket albums, is I print my photos as collages. And so I don't know if I have an example of that for this particular project. Using the Pick Frame app, if I have multiple photos, then I'll pick a collage design and I'll pop in photos into the collage, because then that allows me to use more photos in a smaller album like this. But typically, if I have too many photos and I'm looking at a 2-album situation, then I pare it down. I just don't take that many photos anymore for that particular reason. Let's see, any other questions? Where did you get the recipe or the receipt holders, Melissa? I don't remember who those are from. I have no clue. They've been in my stash for a very, very long time. I couldn't even tell you. I'm not sure. Let me see if there's any other questions. Aubrey Calvin is joining us today, my better half and one of my muses. And because your wife and daughter get tired of being in them, oh, you get tired of being in the photos, Aubrey Jane, don't you start no trouble today. I'm going to get you after this is over. All right, let's create. So I think what I want to do, this is going to be pretty simple. My little key here. I have some cardstock already cut up 3x4. And I think I'm just going to adhere this, but I think I want to use some red line tape. Let me see if I have some, or at least some double-sided tape. I'm up here telling myself, let me see if I have some. Of course I do. Of course I do. Okay. So let's get crack-a-lackin' on this. So, like I said, I keep all my hotel keys for the most part, or I try to if I remember to. I'm just going to use some red line tape on this. So if you're not familiar with red line tape, it is a super tacky tape. Once you put it on something, you better commit, baby, because then it's hard to get it up. But it's good for stuff like this that you need to adhere very securely. So I'm just going to put that on my hotel card. If it's a hotel, like a private chain hotel or a bed and breakfast or something like that, where I have a hotel key to get into the room, I love keeping it. If they don't require that we turn it back in, then I keep it, and I like to put it in my scrapbook albums. That is one piece of ephemera that I try to get whenever we go. We stay at a fancy hotel or something, definitely want to do that. All right, so I'm going to stick that here. And I'm thinking I want to put something to the side of this. I thought I had something that said hotel, but I don't think I do. I'm looking through some of the embellishments I pulled. Let's look in these little Mambi chips here and see what I got. I thought I had something that said hotel, but I don't think I do. I have something that says vacationing. Let's pull this out and see how that'll work for us. Will that fit on there? Oh, I actually like that. Okay. Then I can put, what is on there? I'm going to have to put a little bit of foam. So I'm just going to layer that there. Let's grab some foam dots. I add just a tiny bit of dimension, not a ton usually when it comes to my mini albums, because I don't want to be too bulky. But just a tiny bit will do. I think that'll work. Yeah, and that should still fit inside the pocket without any problem. You can also put elements outside your pockets too, right? You're not limited. Okay, so it has a little arrow in this little blank space here, and I wonder if I have a little tiny font or something. I do see one, but I don't think it's going to be, I think it's going to be too big. Can I spell? These are from Citrus Twist. It's called the Citrus Twist Life Crafted Collection. And I'm trying to see if I can spell out Arkansas. Nope, I may not have enough room in that little space. Nope, I'm not going to have enough room there. Okay, that's all right. We'll come back to that. We're not going to make that a thing. Okay, so here is my hotel key. And it's that simple. Now, one of the things I want to mention today, if you are working on a vacation album or even a mini album like this, do not feel like you have to do things to the nth degree when it comes to decorating or embellishing your layouts. You can go as simple as you need to be or as you want to be. It doesn't have to be this big thing, right? I tend to go for simple design when it comes to projects like this. I don't want to overthink it. Alrighty, let's see. Trying to look for a sticker that I'm thinking I might want to put here. This one's already done already, which is why I love doing pre-made pages and albums, because when I sit down to do a project, then it's not a whole lot of embellishing, a lot of decorating or making decisions at this point. Okay, if I don't have anything to put there, we're just not going to worry about it. Let's see what else we got. I have these little chipboard stickers that I've had for a while. It's from Momenta. And I'm not sure if I want to use this on here just yet. One of the things that helps is not picking out a ton of stuff, giving yourself too many choices. Looking at something else to see if it'll work. Oh, I was going to use road trip on it, but that doesn't make sense. Okay, I'll save those for something else. Alrighty, let's see about our Mandy chips. Probably not going to put anything there now that I think about it, so let me think about something here. I think I'm going to do this little sticker that says we're on vacation. And I'm going to put that right outside the pocket. So I love to be able to feel and touch things. And it's not like there's going to be a lot of people touching this album, to be honest. Okay, so there's this spread complete. Like, I'm done for the most part. I don't think I'm going to put anything on this photo here. Maybe I'll put a label and that says like Holiday Inn or something. I have to figure that out. And I don't have any shortage of labels, but I might put something, a little something here. And I'm saying that as I'm looking around at my stuff to see what I want to put on there. But I think I'm going to leave that blank for right now. So I got my hotel key. I've got this pocket card. This is from Ellie's Studio, by the way. I went ahead and put the chipboard sticker on the outside of the page protector because that's the thing that I love to do. And then this card was already done. So now I can flip to the next page. And this is going to be a spot for journaling. So I'm just going to leave that the way it is for right now. And you may be wondering, well, Victoria, are you going to type or handwrite your journaling? If I'm doing a project, like a big project like this, I typically am going to type my journaling because I like to add a ton of detail to my albums. And so I find that typing works best. Now, you can type directly on these cards if you know how to do something like that. For me, I just like to type my journaling in a Microsoft Word document using a text box. I resize the text box to the size that I need it. And I'll measure out, like say for instance, if I want to add typed journaling here, I'll measure out how big that space is. So this is roughly like a little bit over 2.5 by almost 2 or so. And then I'll create a text box in Microsoft Word, type up my journaling, print it out, cut it, and pop it right here on my card. My printer won't handle printing anything other than regular printer paper. Before, I would create the text box, do a test print, align my card on the test print, and then run it through my printer. My current printer won't do that. So some people know how to use the digital elements to create things like using Photoshop and that type of thing. That ain't my jam. So I just use Microsoft Word and I'm good for it. Okay, so there's going to be some journaling here. And then I think what I'll do, I probably have a little tiny like flat circle stamp that I'll go through and I'll just stamp in yellow as I'm rating things. So this has a little happy face to sad face, so I can talk about my mood eating there, staying there, whatever. Okay, I think what I want to do is I have a sticker that says, well, stickers that say right here. I don't think I want that. This was not a trip of a lifetime. So I'm looking at all of these different stickers that I could potentially use. Thought about this "You Are Here" sticker. That works. Again, nothing needs to be complicated about this. Nothing at all. Wayfarers Club, no. I think what I'll do is maybe do another label situation here and add something there, but we'll come back to it. This little pocket's already done. Andy, thank you so much for answering that. I couldn't remember where these were from. It is from these little pockets here are from the Crepe Paper collection. Here and There is what's called. Here and There collection. Thank you guys for finding that out. See, I knew somebody would know because I certainly forgot. I totally forgot. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is, Christine, all the details card is from Ellie's Studio. Ellie's Studio. And they may still have them in their shop. Okay, so that's already done. This little card I've made already when I was setting up the album, so this is done. So now I'm going to work on this spread. In fact, I'm going to take it out of the album. And this is the next day, our first full day, and we went to have breakfast and coffee at a local coffee shop called Collective Coffee. We always, always, always like to look for a spot to grab local coffee so we can support small business. So here is the photo of the outside of the coffee shop. It's really beautiful. It is in the Hot Springs area. By the way, for those of you who aren't familiar, the Hot Springs National Park area is literally just like a 2-mile stretch, probably longer than a 2-mile stretch, actually, in the heart of Hot Springs. I thought it was going to be like this big open wooded type area when you think of National Park, but it's actually a place where shops and stuff are at. It is quite the tourist trap, by the way, so I'll let you know that. All right, let's get a piece of pattern paper to go here. I already cut up some pattern paper, so now I just need to select what color I want. And by the way, I got all these really fun postcards too that I'm gonna use down the road. Okay, so I have some that are cut up already, so I think I'm gonna use this small piece. This is 4 by 6 here, this photo, 4 by 6. This is 2 by 6, so I just cut it to fit. And let's see what we got here. Like that Let's Go sticker or die cut. Some of my travel elements are either I like this camera too. Some of my travel elements are either airplane themed or flying themed, and not a whole lot of road trip stuff. So anytime that I see road trip stuff, I'm going for it. I like that. That says Explore. And then thought about that might be a little bit too bulky to go there. So where's my adhesive? I love doing pocket spreads because you can make these as souped up as you want them or not. I'm going to do explore. And then we're going to do let's do these stickers, maybe? I want to type out the word, or spell out the word coffee. Let me know in the comment section if you two like to go and look for coffee shops in places that you like to travel. You could cross out lifetime, just an idea, trip of a pandemic. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I don't think I've ever been so excited to go to Arkansas. And I've been to Arkansas many, many times. Not knocking Arkansas, but there's definitely other places, clearly, to explore across the U.S. Arkansas has its charm, but I think we were just excited just to get out of Texas. Oh, I think these might be a little bit too big to fit where I want it to fit. Ah, okay. Maybe we take that off, because I do want it to say coffee. That I do want. These font stickers are called Sketchbook by Thickers. So at Collective, they sell a full range of really nice coffees. I think they are brewed in-house or made in-house. And then the coffee beans are ground in-house. And then they also have a selection of specialty teas as well. Okay, so I think, will that fit there then? I want that to go on there. There we go. We'll make it work. When it won't go, you force it to go, right? So explore coffee. And this will go in here. I might have to reinforce these with some adhesive later. Yeah, I think I might have to. We all know how Thickers are, right? So I think I'm going to stick this little sticker or this die cut right out there. Like this. Just put that right on top of the page protector because that's how we roll. Okay, I like that. And then I had some enamel dots that might be fun to put there. There we go. Very simple. Anyway, Collective Coffee is in a beautiful building, older building, absolutely stunning. And we had coffee drink. We also had a bagel sandwich, and we had a pastry. It was yummo. Alrighty, so because I took a lot of pictures in this coffee shop, I decided to create a little picture collage here with these pockets, and they're 2x2 pockets. Now, some of you may say, Victoria, are those photos too small for you? They're not too small for me. Again, some of these photos are going to be printed 4x6 and either put into a photo album or whatnot, so I'm not too concerned about it. But I did want to create kind of an overall composition of elements that I can put in this 2x2 or these page protectors. Also, I want to use a lot of photos, so this is one of the ways in which I do that. So I just want to go in and add in some papers to this. Some of them I might leave clear, and that way it gives me an opportunity to add some little embellishments and such. So I'm just going to take some of the scraps that I had left over from the 3x4 pocket cards I created when I first started this project. Let's see how many we can get out of that. Get my little trusty trimmer, and I'm going to cut up some papers 2x2. Let's see how far we get with this. No rhyme or reason. I'm just kind of cutting them up. And then what I'll do for each of these squares is add in some little embellishments. And I love doing these spreads. They come together super quick. and you have an interesting element in your album. Let's see, is that 2 by 2? Yes, it is. And just, there's no rhyme or reason in terms of placement, at least not initially. All right, so there's that. Did that work? Yes. Let me get an orange. Way to use up the scraps, folks. Way to use it up. 2 by 2. Just cut that out using my tonic trimmer. Okay. So I'm liking the way that looks. And then I think what I will do is I'm going to type out journaling that's going to be resized to 6 by 8 so that I can fit it into one of the solid page protectors for this album. So I'll show you that in other videos another time. So here is going to be strictly embellishing and stuff like that. So I'm going to work on these 2 pages first, and then I'll flip them over to the back. Now, the cool thing about it with this is that you can just come in and add whatever elements you want to add. So I'm just going to do a little star here, just using what I have in my stash. And then I'll do a little star here, if it will come up. There we go. This is from Citrus Twist. Trying to see what else I've got going on. These are Daily Flash from October Afternoon, and as you can tell, I'm hoarding these stickers because I love October Afternoon so much. I think I say that all the time, but I do. This is a sticker that says "was here," and I can probably stamp something there. I can probably stamp something here too. Just kind of putting down a spot for stuff to go. There's no rhyme or reason to this. I'm just picking out things that look good to me from the embellishments that I have pulled for this project. Here's an old Felicity Jane chipboard. This is a summer themed one. So I think I'm going to do Good Times. Does that have adhesive on it? I can't remember. This is a great way to use up those smaller embellishments. And you don't really need a whole lot, right? You don't need a ton of stuff to make that work. Let's see. Going for the smaller things. Going back to these little Mandy chips here. I'm bound and determined to use all of these up. There we go. Put something there. And I'm just picking stuff. No rhyme or reason. It just looks cute. I'm going to stick it on the page. Let's look at some more stickers, some more options. That has a bunch of hearts. Let's see. Looking at some more options. I got some letters, stuff out. Oh, I know. Move this out the way for just a second. Let's reach over here and see what we got. That lets go. And for a little bit of transparency here, I'm trying to use up a lot of this stuff so that I can get more travel stuff. I know, it's a thing. I'm trying to use up all the things. Okay, so this says bliss, because coffee is bliss. You know, if you've been following me for a while, you know I love me some coffee, which is why I always try to find places to have coffee. So this particular coffee, Collective Coffee, this coffee shop, they feature artists, local artists, their work in their shop, which is beautiful. Lots of great pieces at the time that we were there. So very excited to see that. They also have pastries, and I believe they have a lot of vegan, gluten-free type stuff if you're into that. Super yummy. Let's see here. I'm trying to figure out what kind of stamp do I want. I want to stamp something here. This is a stamp from Inka Dinka Doo. That's fun to say. And I think I just want to do a little call out, and it says hi, which I like. Let me grab a acrylic block, of which I have no shortage of. And let's test that out. I don't think I've ever used this stamp set, so yeah, that'll work. I'm just going to stamp that right in the middle. That says hi. That'll work. Okay, so I think I'm ready to pop these inside. Hopefully I don't need to trim them down any further. Sometimes these pockets are made to size and sometimes they're not. I think it just depends on the manufacturer. I need something to stamp on that one, but I'll come back to that later, so I don't know what yet. Stick that in there. You can stick bulky things in these 2x2s. Yeah, that came along really quick. I like that. I'm all about keeping life simple, folks. Just keep it simple, keep it moving. Get those stories documented, get those stories told, get those photos printed. By the way, getting the projects done, speaking of getting things done, if you didn't know, I currently have a year-long class called Project Done. And it is a Project Done, a year-long journey. And what we're doing in this class is we're working on, let me keep that out. We are working on finishing a set number of our choosing, individually that is, scrapbook projects for 2021. With the idea that we're going to get some things done. Get those stories told, no more excuses. We're going to get this thing done. So, enrollment is ongoing. So if you go to the Victoria Marie blog, there's information there as well. But if you've got the newsletter, then I put some information in there. This week's newsletter, the news roundup, updates, whatever I'm calling it. You can go check it out. You can join the class. You would get access to the content that's already there, the previous content and the current content. Right now, we're talking about making space in your life for your scrapbooking and your busy schedule. And that has been really, really eye-opening. We set goals and intentions in January. We talked about things that are roadblocks and that are keeping us from creating projects and getting projects done. So if you're someone who needs a little bit of guidance and some help and some support and inspiration for getting your scrapbook projects done, consider taking the class. It's $59.99 for the entire year. We go live twice a month on Zoom, so that's where we have sort of our interactive class session. And then throughout the month, you have various different exercises and opportunities to share. We have members in the class that have accountability partners, so they're holding each other accountable for getting their projects done. And so far, we have been having a blast in this class. So head over to the Victoria Marie blog if you want to learn more about that. I'll make sure after this live to put a link there. So make sure you take advantage of that. So it's a great learning opportunity, a great way to get motivated to finish those projects. This is one of the projects on my list to finish that I told the students that I would be doing. Alrighty, so this spread is done, right? Came together really quickly, just putting in some little embellishments. Nothing fancy, I'm keeping it simple. Flip. Now it's time, again, let's pick out some more pattern papers. Again, no rhyme or reason for this. I'm just picking out stuff that I think works well. Let me pick out some more papers here. And I'm just grabbing some from some cards that I already cut up. in a previous session of working on this project. So if you want to look at that, make sure you check out the previous Victoria Marie Lives where I work in this album. How about we do this? Okay, getting that paper used up. I'm all about that life. Alrighty, so again, cutting up some more 2x2 squares. I'm almost done with this, and then I'll figure out how I want to put in my little coffee cup sleeve. Okay, so let's get, again, I don't have any rhyme or reason for this. I'm just playing, right? I'm just cutting up some paper and doing my thing. And I think that's where we need to be with scrapbooking, right? We don't have to make it a whole big darn thing. We can just scrapbook and enjoy what we do. And that's not, you don't have to make it a darn thing. Quote me on that, will you? It doesn't have to be a darn thing. It's just scrapbooking. It doesn't have to be a big deal. It's paper, it's stickers, it's words, it's photos. The fun for me is not only creating, but to go back and to look at my finished projects. So if there's that travel album you've been meaning to get done, you've been meaning to get finished, why not make this year your time to do that? Use up some of that stash that we got hiding away. I'm going to go to the comments here in just a second. Okay. Now we've got that. I love, love, love using these 2x2s. They're just so much fun. Okay. How about we do another stamp? Sometimes in this process, I like to get a little fancy, right? I like to do something that is a little bit more involved, and that's fine in the midst of keeping it simple. There's some days where I pull out this project, I'm like, you know what? I just want it to be what it is. I don't want it to be anything more than paper, words, and photos. And then some days it's like, you know what? Give me all the techniques, give me all the things. That's what I want. Let me move these around. All right, so I got a stamp, little camera. This is from the My Mind's Eye World Traveler collection, and I'm just gonna do a little stamp here, right on that card. Then I thought I would add something underneath that. Another stamp, same collection, World Traveler. Get another block. I work with a lot of blocks when I'm stamping on projects, right? Each stamp gets a block. There we go. That looks good. I'm just testing that out. This is a high quality stamp, so I didn't have to prep it much. There we go. Make my own little card there. Love that. Yes. I'm going to leave these little stamps on the block. The only problem is that sometimes I forget what stamps go to what after I'm done with packages, so it is what it is. Okay, do I want to do any more stamping on this just yet? Not sure. Let's move on. I have these Freckle Fawn arrows, which look pretty fun. So let's see what we can do with those. I think what I want to do, maybe, I like these direction arrows. I'm going to be very careful because they are very delicate. So I'm going to put that there. And then I have some little block letters. Oh, not the ones that I thought I did. Oh, where are those Citrus Twist ones at? And I think I'm going to spell yum. But I don't know if I want that color. I had another color somewhere. Let me see. Aha! It was right behind me in a basket. Look at me go. It just works out that well. So I'm going to use these Citrus Twist letters here. Love these. Small enough for projects like this. And let's spell out the word yum. So what I'm doing is these photos are just pictures inside the coffee shop. There's some biscotti in a jar. this little bagel sandwich. I'm going to hold this up so you guys can see, and I'll give you a closer look. A little bagel sandwich I had with turkey, cage-free egg, and my drink. And I'm just going to put yum there and pointing towards that little bagel sandwich that I had. That was a good breakfast. We initially thought we would just eat breakfast at the hotel. And if we're staying at a hotel that has a good meal, then we'll do breakfast at the hotel most mornings, depending on how long our trip is. This particular breakfast was a hot mess. It was disgusting. And I'm not saying that Holiday Inn has the best cuisine on the planet. There's some locations that do better than others, in my opinion. But man, it was really gross. So we decided that we would do a meal out that morning. Then we discovered the pancake shop. And then another place called Phil's, which if you like a big old country breakfast, Phil's is the deal, is the complete deal. Let me leave these out. I might use these again. But we made the mistake of thinking that we could handle Phil's. Man, it was, we got pumped. It was too much food. But it was so delicious. I'll tell you more about that when I get to that page. Okay, I'm going to take some little dots here. I guess I could move my arrow over just a little bit. I'm trying not, nope, I can't. It's stuck. It's going to have to be the way it was. I was going to shift that arrow over so I can kind of shift this little embellishment, but it's not going to happen because it's stuck. So I don't want to rip the page, so we'll just let it be what it is. Added some enamel dots from My Mind's Eye, the Jubilee collection. That's an old collection. I'm going to repeat the same design, only this time I'm going to have an arrow going to my babe. She was so excited to get out of town. Bless her little heart. We hadn't been out of town in quite a while. And she didn't get to go on her normal trip to see her grandparents that summer. So she was excited for us to go anywhere. Bless her little heart. She kept saying, when are we getting out of town? When are we getting out of town? And I'm spelling the word cute using these little tiny letters. These are perfect for projects like this. She looks so cute. She's holding, and I'll hold this up in just a second, she's holding a coffee cup. She had ordered a mocha, which is one of her favorites. And in fact, we will be, after I finish with this live, we will be going to get our weekly Starbucks, of which she'll probably get a mocha or maybe a frap. Okay, those aren't going to go back in there easily. I'm just going to set these to the side. Alrighty, let's look at some other little things real quick. There is that chipboard I was looking for. So you know when I was doing the page about the hotel, I was going to use this sticker. So I think I might go back and add that on in some way. Oh my gosh. This was, even though we didn't stay in hotel room 272, I don't know what our number was, but I want to use this. I want to use that. I thought I would be able to use it here, but I don't have enough white space. So maybe I'll be able to use it here. Or it could like dangle or something. I don't know. Okay, I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that. Let me finish this other piece going, this page that I got going on right now before I digress. Okay, almost done, folks. Let me go to the comments real quick. Oh, I'm glad you guys liked the class. Thank you so much. Your guillotine trimmer never stays up all the way. Huh. It could be that something's wrong. I wonder if there's a way you can tighten it a little bit, Sarah, on that, on the trimmer. I wonder if there is, so that it will, the arm will stay up. Oh, we love our coffee drinks, Laura. We love our coffee drinks. Although I have to admit, and I hate admitting this, but I have to admit it anyway. I've had to cut back a little bit on coffee drinking because it was upsetting my acid reflux just a little bit too much. And I know this. And I know it. So I only drink coffee. I'm trying to drink coffee sparingly, which has been really, really hard. But I've been really good at only having just a few. I've been drinking tea instead. When I think about, well, I've been starting my day off with tea. Yesterday I had a cup of coffee and it said okay. And this morning I had about half a cup of coffee. But man, coffee is like, it's failing me these days. Too much heartburn, so I've had to cut back. All right, let's see. I've got my embellishments stacked up here. I'm trying to see the last little bits that I want to add to this little spread. I see one that says just want to explore. Again, there's no rhyme or reason for this, folks. I'm just popping things where I think it looks great and, you know, going for it. Just want to explore. I'm going to put that there. Then, let's see here. Just a couple more. One says that discoveries, but I don't want that. So those of you who are new, my daughter and I are pretty much Starbucks addicts. We love Starbucks a lot. And once a week we go get Starbucks. Not every week though. There's been some weeks where we have not, you know, like that. We have not gone to get Starbucks. Do I want that there? No, I don't want that there. Love this place. There we go. But it used to be I'd pick her up after school when she was going to traditional school, and we just started this tradition of going to Starbucks every week. To the point where I've had to make sure that I have my little Starbucks budget. So we have the Starbucks app, and you can put a certain amount of money on the app. And so I only put a certain amount of money, and once we go through that, we're done for the month until I add more on the following month. Okay, so I just need one here. Let's see a sticker that I want to use. There we go. That looks good. Okay. I'm going to pop these in. See, these page protectors sometimes, they're like a smidge off. It drives me nuts. I'm going to pop these inside. Oops, let's put that the right way, Victoria. Will that fit? Probably not. So anyway, Corinne and I love our weekly Starbucks. It's our thing. And we love Starbucks during the holidays, and we like to try all the holiday drinks. And I've been switching between tea and coffee. So if I have a Starbucks, I try not to have coffee during the day, or I get something different at Starbucks if we go. There's some weeks where I'm busy and we're just at Starbucks. Like we sometimes like to do our homeschool lessons at Starbucks, and there's other coffee shops we enjoy too. There's one that just opened that I actually like better than Starbucks. Wait, I stand corrected. We're not going to Starbucks today. We are going to Jamba Juice today. We have a Jamba Juice location that just opened in our area. So that's where we're going today. So we're going to have a nice, refreshing, healthy smoothies this afternoon. And then we're going to ruin all that by having really, really good Italian food tonight. for dinner. Okay. So there we go. We've got this little page here. I love all the little embellishments, and I'll stamp something there. This little page here. And I don't really care how the papers are oriented or whatnot. That's not a big deal to me. Like I wasn't trying, well, yeah, that's not a big deal to me. So I love that. Very cool. And then the last page. There. Very fun. So I took different photos within the coffee shop. I was trying to get a photo of the brick that's been there for many years. That's featured in the coffee shop. The little, the counter area, their sign. These are types of pictures I love taking when I'm trying new places. This is the biscotti in the jar, our breakfast, me and Rennie, the pastry we had, the drink that I drank. It was a mocha. It was really delicious. Corinne sitting there drinking her coffee. So there we go. Once this project's done, I'll take pictures so you can see what it looks like in its entirety. So these are going to go here. Then I have this one that's sort of the intro to it. So far, so good. Then I have this last one, which is just a photo of Corinne and I. This is one of my favorite photos that I think I took during the trip. And yes, it's like copy and paste. She looks exactly like me. But she looks like a lot of people in our family. Like, she's got Bree's eyes, but she and I have a similar smile and nose. But then she looks so much like her grandmother, her grandma Pat, who's Bree's mother. And she looks a lot like her Aunt Tracy, who's Bree's sister. So she kind of looks a little bit of everybody, but it really depends on who she's taking pictures with and who she's around. So anyway, this is a photo that she and I took, and she just looks so grown. I absolutely love it. So the only thing I have to do here is, let me close this out real quick. Let's grab another piece of the pattern paper I was working with. And again, these are already cut from before. I think, I think I want to use this pink one. There we go. I'm going to trim that down. Someone who was saying that their arm was loose on this, I wonder if you took an Allen wrench and tightened this part up, tighten up the arm so that it'll stay up. I wonder if this screw part here is loose. I'm trying to see who had that question. Oh, that's way up in the... Oh, Sarah, you said your guillotine trimmer never stays all the way up. I would check how tight the arm is screwed. So if you have an Allen wrench, tighten that up and then see if your arm will stay. It could be that the arm just got loose if you haven't done that already to tighten that up. So that's going to go there. And I love this sticker, Adventure Sparks Imagination. I love that. That goes there. And that is from the Here There collection by Crate Paper. And I want to find one last little element that's going to go right on top of that. And I wonder, I'm trying to see if I have like a cute little camera chipboard or something. I have one, but it's too giganto. Let's see, real quick. Let's see if I have one. I love, love, love how this is coming together, guys. It makes me so happy. Almost done. Let me know if you are working on any travel albums, or for that matter, any projects this weekend. Are you taking some time to make something fun and nice for yourself? And if so, what projects are you going to be working on? That looks good there. And I think what I want to do, I'm going to add these little stars. I like working with limited supplies because it forces me to be creative with what I have. There we go. I like that. I'm going to slip this right in here. Me and my girl. And I'll add the journaling later. Actually, I'm adding the journaling this weekend. So the next time you see me working this album, you'll see the journaling. So that finishes that little spread. Okay, so there we go. Looks good. And then I found something else I want to use, and it's a sticker that says Day 1. I think I might move that and then do Day 1 here. This is from the, I think the same collection as those die cuts or the stickers, the Here and There collection. I'm going to stick that outside the page protector. Because you can do that, and it's okay. You can totally do that. Okay, folks. Let me stick this where this needs to go. Right there. This was fun, putting this together. Alrighty. So today, oh, you know what we forgot? The sleeve. I want to put this in here in some way. So I can use one of the little page insert strips. And goodness, would you believe that I don't have them next to me? I thought I had some with me, but I don't. Okay. I'll have to add that in, and I'll show you guys next time I work in this album. But I'm going to do one of the little page inserts, and so my little coffee collective sleeve will go in like this. So there's that. Okay, so I begin with putting in the hotel key, have a picture of the hotel that we stayed in. This card was already pre-made, and then I just added a sticker, a chipboard sticker here that says we're on vacation, and then I'll add in the journaling this weekend. I have another card where I can go through, kind of rate our hotel, and actually Corinne likes to rate our hotels, by the way. I'm going to make sure that I add that in the journaling, because everywhere we go, she likes to rate our hotels. Then I have the little insert here that has the receipt from the hotel and from the restaurant we ate at that day. This was a pre-made card that I put together when I was preparing the album, and then I'll pop something here, probably some journaling or something at some point. Then here's Day 1. We'll have the collective coffee, collective with a K, by the way, collective coffee and tea, the cup holder that's going to go, or cup band that'll go right here once I add that in. A nice big picture of the outside of the venue. Explore coffee that I made with the stickers, and I'm going to have to reinforce those with some more adhesive. And then I went in and printed photos 2x2, and then of course cut down, trimmed down some pattern paper 2x2, added in the embellishments that I wanted into each little pocket that just makes a nice, fun little design option. Did a little bit of stamping, added in various different elements along with the photos. And then, of course, some of these photos are going to be printed just in general for my bulk photo, so I'll have them in a larger format. But for this particular project, I really loved having them as 2x2. I think it's really fun. Then it ends there, and then, of course, with a photo of me and my girly. So that is the album so far. I've got several more stories to put in here, which and probably do a little bit more interactive things so I can add more photos as I go along, but we'll see how it all shapes out. And then I also have some spaces where I need to add some journaling. So it is coming along quite nicely. All right, folks, let me look at the comments real quick. Thank you so much for hanging out. Let's see here. Let me go back. Do I have any coffee stamps, Leanne? I probably more than likely have coffee stamps somewhere. I just need to find them. Laura says, sadly, or maybe not, I too have to drive to get Starbucks. I would love to live in civilization. Yes, Becky Higgins page protectors are the same. They are a tad small. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Callie Crafting, you sure do need coffee. Barbara says, your pages are so cute. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Once a week, more like every day, says Sarah. You're so disciplined. You know what? We would probably go and get Starbucks like every day. Cody said she hasn't been to Starbucks in years. 2 card classes this weekend, and I'm not a card maker. Oh, Cindy. Well, maybe you'll be inspired by that. Let's see. Folks are working on Valentine's cards. The last 4 days of your December daily. That's awesome. Don't even ask me the status of mine. They're just kind of chilling. Love your pages. Totally be into stopping at coffee shops while traveling. Yes. We like to find coffee shops, museums, and libraries where we go. Is this Hot Springs, Arkansas? It is, Laura. It is Hot Springs, Arkansas. She says, my parents honeymooned there in 1961, and I arrived in 1962. Well, that was a special vacation for them, wasn't it? Yes, tightening up the arms, Sarah. Hopefully that'll work for you. Finishing up layup challenges from the last online weekend crop while watching you today. That is super fun. Working on some cards, says Janet. First lives that I've caught. Hello, Lisa. I'm so glad that you enjoyed yourself. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We have a lot of fun here. Thank you for the comments on the album, guys. I appreciate that. Yes, Sheena, you should get one to play with. I was a little... I've been playing with the Traveler's Notebook size album just to kind of experiment and see if it's something that I wanted to work in. And then I discovered that there were these binded albums, and I'm like, yeah, now I'm really 100% into it. And I think for an album like this, for just a, small mini album, a travel album, or whatever, if you're just looking for a smaller format, then this definitely is an album to check out. And I believe the albums are, let me see, I think they're $19.99. Don't quote me on that. I believe they are. Let me check to see no, they're $21.95. $21.95 for one of these beautiful albums, and they come in a variety of colors. And the popular colors sell out super, super quick. So anyway, these are just a really, really fun way to document your stories, to make mini albums, and to have the page protectors. I mean, super fun. You don't have to overthink it. Sarah says, wish we had a drive-through Starbucks here. Oh no. We have one about 20 minutes up the motorway. Not quite essential travel. That's true. What size is the album, says Christine. The Life Crafted albums are, they're 6.5 by 9.5. So 6.5 by 9.5, or I'm sorry, 6.5 by 9.25 is how big they are. And the inserts are 4.25 by 8.25. And you can fit loose pages. So without the pockets, you can fit loose pages 5 by 8.25. So if you go to citrustwist.com, you can learn more about the albums there. Sarah says, I started my 2019 Project Life album and planning to work on it periodically this weekend. Fantastic. Working on January now. That is awesome, Sarah. That is awesome. Cody is using this album for her one little word this year. That's a really good use of this album, for sure. For sure. All right, folks, I've got 3:21. We're going to call it a day here on the Victoria Marie YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me live. If you want to check me out on all the rest of my socials, make sure you do. All that information is in the description. I will be working some more on this album, and I'll be sharing it some more during our Friday lives occasionally. And then once it's done, of course, I will show you a complete flip through of the album, and I'll be sharing it on the Victoria Marie blog. There will be some new content here on the Victoria Marie YouTube channel and blog tomorrow, so make sure you check it out. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. When you do, click the bell. That way you'll be notified each and every time a new video is posted. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed today's live. That really helps the channel, and I appreciate it. Lots going on in the Victoria Marie community. You can check us out on all my socials, Instagram, the Victoria Marie Facebook business page, and our Facebook group is now on the Victoria Marie Mighty Network, and I believe I put that link in the description. So if you want a community to hang out with, consider joining the network. It's absolutely free to you. That's where most of all the content that I shared on Facebook in the Facebook group is now going to be housed. So come and be a part of the community. And if you want to keep up with everything that is going on, make sure you subscribe to my eNewsletter so you get the up-to-date information of what's going on with Victoria Marie Scraps. So with that being said, I'm going to go grab myself a Jamba Juice today, not a Starbucks today, but a Jamba Juice, and enjoy the rest of the weekend. I have been getting up super early in the morning, so I'm like done with my work, so I can enjoy the rest of Friday and sit up here and make all kinds of fun things, watch movies, enjoy the weekend. I hope you do the same. Please take some time this weekend to feed your creative soul. I will see you guys back here next Friday, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure that you click the bell. That way you'll get a notification when I go live. I hope you have a fabulous weekend, and I will see you guys next week. See you later. Have a good one. Bye.